What if I told you that the Los Angeles Rams could be sitting on the single most explosive offense in the entire NFL by this time next week? We are talking about a total, unapologetic, all-in gamble that either builds a dynasty for the next decade or leaves us looking back in regret. Most people are playing it safe with their mock drafts, shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic. Not us. Today, we are breaking down a scenario that will make your jaw hit the floor. We are talking about an aggressive trade-up, a complete restructure of the roster, and a strategy that targets the biggest superstar in this draft class. Before we dive into the madness and the specific players who could change the trajectory of this franchise forever, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest, most unfiltered NFL updates on the planet. We are officially in the final countdown to the draft. The tension is palpable. The rumors are swirling. And honestly, the safe way to draft just isn't going to cut it anymore. We did the standard, conservative projections, and frankly, they were boring. Today, we are getting realistic about the absolute chaos the Rams front office might be willing to unleash. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the desperate need for a game-changing wide receiver. We have all seen the comments, we have heard the debates, and we know the narrative. What would it actually take to move up and grab someone who can fundamentally alter this offense? What is the cost of greatness? To jump up to the 6th overall pick, we are talking about sacrificing the 13th and the 61st overall selections. It is a steep price, maybe the steepest, but you have to pay the toll if you want to walk through the gates of glory. Think about it. We are not just drafting a player, we are drafting a future. Who is that guy? The one guy who won't get past the Browns at 6, the guy who is currently ranked number 1 by every major scout. We are talking about Carnell Tate. This isn't just another prospect. This is a transformative talent. When you look at his tape, you don't just see a receiver, you see a weapon. He has the size that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep, hands that don't drop anything, and an ability to gain yards after the catch that is, quite frankly, unfair. Is this the move that defines a dynasty? Think about the trio we would have. Puka, Devontae, and then dropping Carnell Tate into that mix. It sounds almost illegal to put that much talent on one field. But the real genius here isn't just about the immediate impact. It is about the heir-apparent strategy. We have to be honest with ourselves. The window with our current veteran core won't stay open forever. The probability that both Stafford Adams and Matthew Stafford decide to hang it up after a 2026 run is incredibly high. If we want to stay competitive, we cannot just draft for today. We have to set the table for tomorrow. If we pair Puka and Carnell Tate, we have a foundation that can carry this team for the next decade, regardless of who is throwing the ball. But I know what you're thinking. What about the cost? What about the depth? That is the catch. By trading out of the 13th and 61st spots, you are essentially gutting your mid-round capital. You are walking a tightrope. You will only have one pick in the top 50, and after that, the cupboard starts to look a little bare. But that is the nature of the beast. You don't get the best receiver in the class for free. You pay in draft capital, and you hope the talent you acquire is worth the sacrifice. Wait until you hear how we plan to patch up the defense after making that massive move, because it gets even more interesting. So, after we secure our playmaker at 6, we have to address the secondary. And that brings us to our pick at 93. We need someone who isn't just a body on the roster, but a true fit for what the coaching staff is building. We are looking for size, strength, and the ability to play physical man coverage. That is exactly what we get with Dalen Everett out of Georgia. Some might look at him as a reach, but watch the tape from the SEC championship game against Texas. Look at his performance in the biggest moments of the season. He is a guy who shows up when the lights are brightest. He had 11 pass breakups and a massive pick in a high-stakes game last year. That is the kind of pedigree you want in a defensive back. He is not a day-one starter, and he doesn't need to be. We are looking for depth, rotational pieces, and someone who can grow under the mentorship of guys like Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. The room is evolving. Players are moving on, and we need young, hungry talent that fits the specific vision Jimmy Lake has for this secondary. Everett is long, physical, and aggressive. He is a perfect match for a scheme that prioritizes winning one-on-one battles on the outside. He is the project, the student, and eventually, the successor. Now, here's where things get really spicy. I want to throw a challenge out to you all. Who is truly to blame for the lack of depth we are seeing in recent seasons? And do you trust the front office to pull off a trade like this? Drop your names and your takes in the comments section below. I want to see who you think is on the chopping block this year. Moving on to the fourth round, we find ourselves in a bit of a pickle because we don't naturally have a pick there. But we are not going to sit idly by while the rest of the league drafts the players we want. We have to go get them. So, we make a move. We trade away our day 3 picks, the 6th and the 2 7ths, to jump back into the 4th round. Why would the other team make this trade? Because depth is currency. If you are a team like the Raiders, sitting in a rebuild, you don't need one superstar. You need as many lottery tickets as you can get. By giving them 3 picks for our 1, we are giving them the ammo to fill their roster, and we are getting the guy we have locked in, Drew Shelton, the offensive tackle out of Penn State. This guy is a technician. If you want to know what a move blocker looks like, watch his footwork. He has a basketball background, and it shows in his agility. The way he shuffles, the way he hits his landmarks, the quickness of his first step, it is elite. He is 6'5", over 300 pounds, and he moves like a guy who is half his size. He is the ultimate upgrade for our offensive line depth. With our tackle situation being, let's be honest, somewhat unsettled, we need someone who can step in if an injury hits. We need a guy who can develop into a starter. Drew Shelton is that guy. He is the safety net that allows the rest of the line to function. He is essentially the Rob Havenstein mold, a guy who might be seen as a project by some, but who possesses the raw physical traits and the technical foundation to become a massive asset. We are building the wall in front of our quarterback, and Shelton is a foundational brick in that wall. Finally, we round out our draft with Red Murdoch in the 7th round. I know, everyone looks at the 7th round and thinks it's a throwaway pick. It isn't. Not if you know how to use it. Murdoch comes to us from Buffalo, bringing with him a familiarity with the coaching staff and a chip on his shoulder. He is a depth piece for the linebacker room, sure, but his real value is going to be on special teams. We talk so much about the offense and the secondary, but a championship team is built on the units that do the dirty work. He is a guy who understands his role, plays with discipline, and gives us another option in a unit that needs constant competition to thrive. Adding someone with his background, his work ethic, and his connection to the current staff is a low-risk, high-reward move. It's the kind of subtle addition that keeps the machine running smoothly when the starters need a breather. So, let's look at the full picture. We didn't just stand pat. We didn't just accept the hand we were dealt. We made a massive splash by trading up for Carnell Tate. We bolstered the secondary with Dalen Everett. We secured our offensive line future with a savvy trade for Drew Shelton. And we added grit with Red Murdoch. Is this a perfect draft? No such thing exists in the NFL. But is it a draft that puts us in a position to compete for a championship while simultaneously securing our future? Absolutely. We have traded quantity for quality. We have sacrificed the sheer volume of picks to target specific, game-altering talent. Now, I want to hear from you. This is the moment of truth. If you were sitting in the general manager's chair and you had the choice to make these exact moves, to go all in on Carnell Tate and sacrifice the depth of the mid-rounds, would you do it? Give me a grade. I want to see an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F in the comment section. Don't hold back. If you hate the trade, tell me why. If you think this is a masterclass in aggressive roster building, let me know. I will be down there in the comments reading everything you have to say. We are officially just 6 days away from the draft. The excitement is going to be off the charts. We are going to be here, covering every single pick, every single trade, every single second of the action. You are not going to want to miss a single minute of what happens next. The Rams are making moves, the league is shaking, and we are going to be the ones breaking it all down for you. Before you go, make sure you are locked in. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and get ready for the most important week of the year. This draft is going to determine whether we are just a good team, or if we are the team that sits on top of the world come 2026. It has been a wild ride today, and we really appreciate you hanging out with us, breaking down the strategy, and being part of the conversation. There is nothing like the intensity of the NFL draft season, and there is nowhere else I'd rather be than right here, talking football with you all. Let's keep the energy up, let's keep the debate going, and most importantly, let's go Rams. We've laid out the board. We've made the trades. We've identified the targets. Now, all that's left is to see if the front office has the guts to pull the trigger. Whether it happens exactly like this, or we take a completely different path, one thing is certain. This is going to be a draft for the history books. Stay tuned, stay loud, and stay ready. We will see you on draft day.